Hi, I am Michael Santos, and I want you to be thinking today about how you can start building more support, and you do it by documenting the strategy. Every day I want to communicate this important message to people who are in jail and prisons across America. I want to show you that even if you're locked inside of a cell, you can be working to build strength and to build a productive life of meaning and relevance and dignity. And it all starts by figuring out what's the best possible outcome for you. What are you trying to achieve in your life? And a lot of times that means let's think about the best possible outcome, not necessarily the best outcome. I know if you're facing a challenge with the government, the only thing you can be thinking about is my sentencing date. Or if you're in prison, it's really easy to be thinking about how long I have to wait until I get out. But that's not the pathway to succeed. The pathway to succeed is to figure out what can I be doing today to begin positioning myself for the success I want to build in the months, the years, the decades ahead. And that doesn't happen by accident. That pathway of thinking requires us to pursue a deliberate path. Today is January the 31st, the last day of January in the year 2021. And early, or at the end of last year, I made a commitment to say I'm going to make a video every single day for people who are in jail and prison. And a lot of people say to me, why do you spend so much time on this activity when you don't get a return on investment, when you're not getting paid for your time? Well, there are other things that I do that I get paid for that allow me the ability to say, I'm going to invest this time and I can get paid later. That's the same mindset that you're going to have if you want to get out of here successfully. Sure, there are opportunities sometimes when I get a small amount of revenues from this type of work, but nowhere near the amount of revenues I need to run my various businesses. But that is today. I look at an opportunity is what can I create in a year from now, in 5 years from now, in 10 years from now. And then I sow seeds today that are going to help me grow that asset or that resource. And if I look at any of the daily journal tasks, and I'm going to see if I can find one right now to pull up so that I can share it with you. If I look at any of those daily journals, in fact, I've got to move this over here and I've got to go to a specific area where I can pull that up. So I'm just showing you right here on my Finder. This is a window of computer. I wouldn't have known what this was when I was in prison, but now I like to show this to people who are watching this that don't have access to some of the tools that I create. So I show them, how do I do it? Well, here is, eventually I'm going to find a section where I have the actual book, and it's going to be right here. Now that's that book. Let me look here, PDF. No, is that the book? Yeah, there's a book. Okay, so there's one of the journal versions. I can scale this down to maybe 100% and move down to any one of these days. And you'll see that every one of these days, they have these lessons. They have a story about how I used this strategy when I was in prison. You can scroll through it here. I know I can recognize you're reading about my friend Weldon Long, another guy who went to prison and then he built a really successful business since he got out of prison. And this tells that story. But more importantly, it tasks you and challenges you with these really specific questions, such as how does and I'm going to actually blow this up some so you can see it. How does your behavior today differ from your routine before you face this challenge? In what ways have you adjusted your behavior since beginning your pathway to success? What adjustments could you make to accelerate progress? Well, these are tasks for you to develop your stronger critical thinking skills. That's the goal of me putting these questions here. And then, of course, you've got an opportunity to write it and then to use this program as a tool. It's the same thing that I do. When people ask me, why do you invest this time to make all these videos on a YouTube page that doesn't get that much traffic? Well, you're right. It doesn't make me any money, this page in and of itself, but I can tell you how it works in other ways. Here's an example. This is a video I did with a fellow by the name of Scott Tucker. Scott is profiled, if you look on, in fact, if I look on CNBC right here, and I type in here Scott Tucker, it'll probably show up that way on Dirty Money. Yep, there it is. Billionaire Scott Tucker, blah, blah, so on and so forth. And they have a profile of his story. Well, there's Scott as he's being profiled on CNBC. There he is as a Formula One race car driver. But there he is on my channel. If I create my channel someplace here, I just saw him. There he is. I'm interviewing him on the Prison Professors program. Well, that interview may not make me any money, but what's happened from it is that it's helped me to build my business. Because what happens? Other people who are facing challenges with either a government investigation or potentially charges with white-collar crime, they're going to reach out to me. And they're going to learn very easily how to do it. Because all they have to do is go to this page, and they can look on the back, they can get my email address, and there they have it, and they can send me an email. And that video, which has only gotten about 30,000 or so users, has made me tens of thousands of dollars. You see, I'm sowing seeds today for what I want to happen in the months, years, and decades ahead. I can show you other ways that I do that. And I was actually using an example of my nonprofit. So this is a nonprofit that I recently formed. These are the bylaws of the Prison Professors Charitable Corporation. And so I go through all of the energy to invest in building a nonprofit, filing the documentation, paying the fees, getting it started. And this is a long process to do. You can see there's a lot of work. You've got to define everything. You've got to be in compliance with the government's rules and regulations. But if I do that, next, I can go to small and medium-sized businesses and I can show them the work that I am doing to try and teach and inspire people in prison by doing what? Making these videos every single day that I then send into jails and prisons so that I can help people inside understand how they can use their time in prison to build a more successful life. And then I can also show them real data that I get. So for example, I think it's in here, there's going to be a letter, and I can show a letter, and some of you are watching these videos on the Adovo platform, and you can see that I'll get a letter of appreciation from the founders of this company, and they'll say that more than 50,000 people have had the opportunity to benefit from these teachings. And then I will take that information and send it to businesses, and that results in a business like this business, EDS, which provided me with a check for $10,000. And that's just one check that I can get. So I could raise hundreds of thousands of dollars for a nonprofit, and that nonprofit will then allow me to purchase books that I can distribute to people who are incarcerated that want to go through our various programs. I can look and see the need for this just by looking at the Department of Justice's website and just see how many people go into the prison system, how many people get targeted for government investigations. I can just look at these different government websites and see all of the media and recognize that, wow, with big government comes more investigations. And all of these people are individuals that at one time or another, at least, were just law-abiding, contributing citizens. But something happened, and something brought them into a situation where they made a bad decision. And that bad decision led them either into a government investigation or into the criminal justice system. And my job is to show the lessons that I learned so to help them emerge more successfully. That's what I do every single day. Then I record it all on these documents that I create. So you can see, I told you I did it one every day in the month of January. I recorded all on this YouTube channel, on this Google Drive sheet, so that I can send it to other people and say, hey, here are good resources and tools for you. This is what I spoke about. This is how I help work to be the change that I want to see in the world. You see, this is January 31st. I soon will be populating these 2 areas, and I will publish this video today. So I have lived up to what I pledged to do. And that's what I recommend you do. If you, regardless of where you are right now, regardless of what challenges you are going through, I want you to begin thinking about how you can use your time today to begin sowing seeds for the success you want to become tomorrow. I can't define that success for you. I can only show you if you define success, then you can document a strategy. And if you can document a strategy, then you can create tools, tactics, and resources. Then you can execute that strategy every single day. That's the pathway to breakthrough struggle. It's what I recommend that you do if you get on this book. This is a free self-directed book that you can get by simply writing to me at the address that I'll plug up here on the screen. And I will send you this book because I'm 100% committed to helping as many people as I can reach their highest potential. My name is Michael Santos. I'm with Prison Professors and with ComplianceMitigation.com. If you want to see how we are applying these principles to build businesses and create jobs and live as contributing American citizens, well, then visit us at either PrisonProfessors.com or ComplianceMitigation.com. And or look at the show notes below. If you are watching this on YouTube, please do subscribe. If you're watching this inside of a prison, write me a letter if you don't have any resources, and we'll send you some free books to teach and inspire you. Thanks again for being a part of our community. We believe in you.